Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. This is going to be a quick live because I have to head out at 10 p.m. But go ahead. Today I'm focusing only on your questions. So the faster you put those questions in is the faster we can get through questions tonight. And then, of course, I'll be back tomorrow to answer more questions. So go ahead. Thank you so much for the love. Go ahead, put your questions in the comments now so I can answer. I'm only focusing on questions tonight. Hi there, Andrea. Thank you so much for liking the live. I appreciate it. All right. So for those of you who are new here, I'm U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I come on multiple days a week to answer questions. So I'm here just to answer questions tonight. Put your questions in the comment. I have a permanent green card and I'm planning to go to London on my British passport. Will I be safe to come back? So what I would say is, first of all, just based on the tone that we're getting, we just saw that Department of Homeland Security issued a warning not only to visa holders but to green card holders, telling them to that they're guests in the United States, to act like it, which means that green card holders are at risk. Now, are all green card holders at risk? I would say not everybody, right? And you do have the ability to travel, you have the right to travel, but just be aware of your background. If you have a criminal record, if you have been active, like an activist, you've been very outspoken about certain issues that may be controversial. If you've expressed certain views on social media, you should be careful. I do not want to ever discourage your First Amendment right to free speech, but I do want you to be fully informed about the risks so that you can understand how to move forward. And unfortunately, that's one of the risks right now. They're detaining and putting green card holders through removal who have expressed views, like, for example, if they have expressed pro-Palestinian views, anti-Gaza war views, they have been going after them. So that's one. So criminal records, if you're an activist or if you've been very, outspoken on social media about certain controversial views. Also, if you're going from 2-year to 10-year, but you have some complications, you need to be careful as well. If you've been outside of the US in the past for more than 6 months in a year, you need to be careful. What comes after receiving 4 prima facie? I've now hit my 3-year mark for VAWA. So I'm finding that VAWAs are being processed within about 3 years. So that means that you should expect a decision soon, and all being well, an approval, and then the green card. They're probably going to schedule you for a green card interview. Please, I'm working on adjustment of status and my biometrics is set for the 16th of May. I will like to know if I can travel to other states with my African passport. So I am not your attorney. I can't give you specific advice on how you should travel. Generally, I would say this: a biometrics or having a receipt notice is not permission. It doesn't give you permission to travel. So you need to be very careful. Definitely talk to an attorney. Hi, please, do I need anything aside from the H-1B notice as a means of identification? So if you have the visa, I don't know about the notice. Do you have the visa in your passport, or were you issued a change of status while being here in the US? In that case, if you were just given an approval notice and not a visa in your passport, then that would be what you'd have to use. What about people with expired green card and domestic violence convictions? Yes, they're at a higher risk for sure. How long does it take for you to start seeing documents coming in for the T visa? 2 weeks to 12 weeks. Please, let's see. What comes so answer that. How long will I get the green card after applying for the SIJS program? So right now, SIJS, we'll have to see until October, but SIJS, they're not accepting adjustment of status applications. And depending on where you are, what the processing times are, you may be given deferred action for now, which allows you to get a work permit while you wait. Do you get receipts for teas taking longer than usual? Yes, that is happening. They are a little backed up. So I'm seeing a range of 2 weeks to 12 weeks. All right. Great questions. Keep putting the questions in. I'm going to move fast tonight. I am leaving at 10 o'clock tonight, but I will be back tomorrow. And what you do, like, subscribe, follow, so that you get notification when I'm on again. And if it was, let's see, I paid for my green card and waiting for arrival by mail. I made the payment in February. How long should it take? About 2 to 4 weeks. If it's taking longer, definitely get in touch with them. I sent EAD renewal through pending VAWA, my current EAD card, category CO9P, and I received receipt notice, but class category in it is C31. Is this right? Or this notice had wrong category? So you have to make sure you put the category CO9P on your application. Yeah, C31 means that they're not going to issue that work permit until your VAWA is approved. So you and they will definitely sit down on it and wait. So you have to contact them to just make sure that they understand that it's CO9 that you put. Hopefully, you did put CO9 and not C31 for a renewed work permit. If it was wrong, how can I fix that? Especially that my lawyer convinced me that C31 is the right category. So if you have an attorney, as I've said before, I'm not your attorney. I can't give you specific legal advice. You have that conversation with your attorney, but I always say defer to the attorney. I don't know your case and I haven't seen the documents. C31 is for when it's approved, you get issued your work permit. If you were given, let me see, if you are approved for a VAWA, you're going to get a C31 work permit. If you're going for the EAD based on adjustment of status, it's going to be CO9. Let's see. Okay, and TikTok. Let's blow through some questions here. Tourist visa revoked in January for no reason. Did FOIA, no records found. Fingerprint. I'm so sorry. Sometimes if they suspect that you have worked in the United States, they will go ahead and do that. My father did I-64. However, I had a baby after I think I-864. However, I had a baby after I had the baby. Now I got a notice for my interview. So, So in this case, if you have an attorney, definitely talk to your attorney, because I don't know. First of all, what's an I-64? I don't know what that is, and it depends on where you are in the process. Where's the interview? If you're outside of the United States, then we'd have to know where are you exactly. Is the time shorter now if my mother applies for me to get a green card? I'm over 21. No, it's going to be 5 to 7 years. Please, I was approved with work permit, but it came without SSN. What should I do? Contact the Social Security office if you don't get your social. It comes separately, by the way. So, but if they don't send it to you, then you need to contact Social Security and show them the work permit. Apply T visa in November. on December still didn't receive receipt notice, in that case, you'd have to contact the USCIS directly. And then sometimes if you have tracking, you've tracked it, then you can get proof that it was delivered, and then you just have to figure out where it is. Sometimes, unfortunately, when they hold it that long, they may be rejecting the packets. Sometimes, as I said before, it's also backed up. So it could be either one. Could they deny my I-751 for being 2 weeks late? Wrote affidavit, but it was just accident. Word sick. I can imagine. So that's always a possibility when it's late. But once you have a good explanation, then they may push it through. But yes, especially with this administration, being late can definitely be detrimental. But I have seen it has been practiced to still accept it. And you have you gave the explanation. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you don't have any more complications. That would really be sad if they did that for 2 weeks late. All right. Okay. So I'm on YouTube. Hi there, Karen, Ahmed. You're very welcome. Glove, how long I-360 takes to be approved? 3 years. The good thing about that, though, is that you do get your work permit while you wait, and that is very reassuring if you apply for an adjustment of status at the same time. 90 days, no receipt notice. What to do? Usually, if the receipt notice takes very long, we usually contact them directly to see if one was sent and to ask for it to be resent. What will happen if my spouse doesn't show up for a green card marriage interview? You could be denied. This is where I say if they're not showing up for that interview, it's telling me red flag. There's a red flag there. Is your spouse mistreating you? If that's the case, you can switch your process to VAWA and be able to move through the process without your spouse. But you have to act fast. It's urgent at this point. So definitely get in touch with us. Can I get a VAWA even if my husband divorced me first? The states are pressing charges against him for DV and he wants to divorce me. If they remove his gun right, I already sent a regular petition. I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and you can absolutely. Even if the only time a deadline goes in is once the divorce is finalized, then you have 2 years to file this. So you can always get in touch with us and we can help you to switch your process from marriage-based to VAWA very quickly, because at that point it's urgent and you don't want complications in the marriage-based process. You want to let them know to switch their decision-making to the VAWA process instead. What about people with expired green card and domestic violence? So yes, they're at an increased risk as green card holders. What will happen if my spouse doesn't come to the interview? So I just answered that. Definitely give us a call. Please, I'm working on adjustment of status and my biometrics is set for the 16th. So travel, keep in mind that pending adjustment of status alone is not going to give you the right to travel. So you have to be careful about that. All right, I have to head out. I know that was really quick, but I will be back tomorrow to answer some more questions. So please go ahead, like, subscribe, join me, and then we can talk tomorrow. I'll answer some more questions. As usual, if you want to get in touch, go to the link in the profile, go to the link in the description of the video. Our phone number is going across the screen. We are making it very easy to contact us. We have 24/7 intakers that can help you to get to the right place, to get scheduled, to talk to you about your case, and or what your options are, and as in do an initial evaluation to see if you qualify for one of the options that we help with, and get you scheduled with one of our attorneys here at SD Law Office. Give us a call. now is the time to get assistance and figure out your options to stay legally here in the US. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.